Hello everyone and welcome to the Utopia of Nerd News. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Adam.
And of course, like we have every Saturday, there's lots of cool stuff to talk about. Yeah! Especially with Comic-Con, because Comic-Con's huge.
And it's going on right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now. I feel like I have
Right
a Minecraft arm.
Also, Sarah's arm is injured.
Injured. Like
She did it for the sake of the show.
For the sake of the show.
Not really.
We'll pretend though. So, anyways, let's get on with some, let's get some game news up in here.
Alright, some game news it is. We had a ton of game news come out. In fact, I had to be very picky and choosy, and there's a lot of news that I didn't even get in the news because I didn't want it to be nothing but games, because Comic-Con ended up having a decent amount of video game announcements. The first of which was Assassin's Creed 4's main character, Arbaz Mir, has been announced and will debut in the comic Assassin's Creed Brahman, or Brahman. It's Brahman. He'll be from India, and it will be about their being repressed by England, so they're really not being too original, because that was the last game as well. I don't know what it is with them hating. I mean, they are French, right?
Wow.
Ubisoft's a French-owned company. Maybe that's why they're not big fans of the English.
Perhaps.
They're always the oppressors, even though technically they kind of were in history, but they have more than just oppressiveness.
Yes.
One of the kind of big announcements that actually came out that had nothing to do with Comic-Con at all was that NCAA, their contract ran out with EA for the NCAA football video games, and they said that they will not be renewing. So the NCAA franchise was ended.
No!
And this year's will be the last year. Then it came out yesterday or today, I can't be specific on which day, kind of a follow-up, which is that EA made a deal with the college licensing company, the CLC. So they will be coming out with college football games. The NCAA franchise is over, with over 20 years of year-to-year games coming to an end.
That makes me sad. That legitimately makes me sad, because I remember playing on the Sega, NCAA, you'd see this little, like, brown pixelated thing go through the air as the football.
I played Joe Montana's football.
I played NCAA. I didn't play Madden, Joe.
Montana
makes me sad.
Joe Montana makes you sad. There's the note for the day. In kind of a fun news, something that did come out of Comic-Con was my personal favorite Soul Calibur ever, Soul Calibur 2, which was the GameCube one. That the GameCube version had Link, the PlayStation version had Darth Vader, and the Xbox version had Spawn, I believe. I don't know, it's been a while, but it was just announced that they will be coming out with an HD version of it that will feature online play. That will come out this fall for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3.
And you're totally gonna get it.
Maybe, I don't know. I've got a lot of games to buy this fall. It's a busy fall.
It is.
And in kind of other little Soul Calibur news, Soul Calibur Lost Swords, that title was kind of picked up as a domain name. We don't really know anything about it, but it's more than likely the next generation Soul Calibur game was given its name, basically. That's what happened, right? Capcom at their Comic-Con panel announced the rebirth of one of the old classic video game characters from the 90s. The character named Strider, who was like a ninja platforming type of game. They announced that there will be a game called Strider HD, which will be the rebirth of the series. I don't know if it's a complete overall rebirth or if it's just like here's a new one with him, but that's cool to see an old video game character come back, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's the age of HD or something, because everything's coming out in HD.
It's because the old games are better.
Yes, very true. Very true.
You like being an old, bitter person?
I hate stupid new video games.
And going back to Assassin's Creed 4, they announced the limited edition of the game, which will feature not just the game, but the soundtrack, which isn't too uncommon for these kinds of things, a steel bookcase, another thing that's not super uncommon with these things, but still kind of cool, I guess. One thing that is kind of like common with these, but expanded, it'll have an 80-page art book, which normally they're in the 20 to 30 range, so 80 pages is pretty cool. You'll get a 20 by 48 pirate flag.
Woo!
And the best thing is an 18-inch statue. All that for just $130. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's
No.
a little pricey.
That's no.
Yeah. There's a reason a lot of people are starting to consider Assassin's Creed like the new Call of Duty. They're literally pumping those things out with no time in between them and trying to milk it for everything it's worth.
But I suppose if you are a huge Assassin's Creed fan, that
You
pirate flag is
probably
gonna
pissed at the third game.
be cool. Pirate flag on the wall.
So, Lego, and you know how they make a lot of little Lego games and stuff?
I love that.
Well, they've announced a new one. It'll be a Lego game based off the Lego movie.
Oh, the one that's coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh. It's kind of hard to judge it now because I haven't seen the Lego movie.
It's
I
a
want
Lego
to.
game based off the Lego movie. So, will it be like a Lego game, or will it be a movie-based game?
That's fun to ponder. I wish they would do like another franchise though, like
Game of Thrones. I want those pixelated boobies.
or you know they could do something cool like the Ranger's Apprentice would be cool.
Not quite popular enough. They haven't done
I
The Hobbit,
know.
but I think they're kind of sitting on The Hobbit, waiting for maybe the third movie or
What
something.
if they did a Pacific Rim one? Oh, I just made his day.
Oh, you did. That would be so cool. Another thing that's not very kiddie though.
It's true.
Giant Lego kaijus destroying Lego brick walls. He just like runs up there and gives it a little push and it falls over.
Good enough.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. And finally, we've been saying that this needs to happen basically since the beginning of our show. Finally, it's come out. There's been a trailer or teaser trailer thing for Martian Manhunter to finally enter Injustice. Took them long enough.
Took him long enough.
Long
I mean, they
enough.
got that Mortal Kombat character in before
Scorpion.
your boy.
Yeah. Well, finally, we can stop talking about Injustice. And in the last little bit of video game news, the Tales franchise has Tales of Xillia coming out here on August 6th here in the US. They announced next year we'll have Tales of Xillia 2, the sequel, coming out, as well as Tales of Symphonia, the high-def collection, with both of those games coming out, I believe, early next year. Well, obviously full steam ahead for them because they just picked up 3 name titles, the copyrights for 3 name titles. Tales of Castora, Tales of Krelis, and Tales of Zestaria, and I don't know if those are the actual pronunciations of those, but that's my best attempt.
Huh.
So
Well,
that's-
if that last one's, that sounds cool. Zestaria.
That's a lot of game right there. I don't know if
Zestaria.
those are all going to be like main games, some side games, like who knows, but that's
Who knows?
maybe
but
they're plotting out their next like 6-7 years. I don't
making
know.
you a happy camper over here.
Only if they come out in the U.S.
True.
And moving on to the movies, a lot of kind of little things, a lot of rumors have come out because the major things at Comic-Con are being held for, I think, mostly tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure of Warner Brothers, but they haven't done anything, so probably for them. And I believe Marvel's is tomorrow as well. The main Marvel, Disney Marvel. But tons of rumors that are floating around the halls right now. The first one is that, you know how they kind of planned on, hey, maybe we'll do a Justice League movie in 2015?
Yes.
Or that, or maybe a Man of Steel 2, one of those two?
Yes.
Well, neither of those are the heavy rumor now,
Oh.
because there seems to be a lot, this seems to be a really strong rumor, like it's all but been announced, that it will be a Superman-Batman team-up movie that will be heavily rumored for 2015, pushing the Justice League movie to 2017, and in 2016 they want to have a Flash movie.
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope that's not true.
Oh, want to hear the best part?
Sure.
Strongly rumored as well that it will be directed by Zack Snyder for Man of Steel. Yeah, they're not doing so hot.
No.
That doesn't
They're-
sound.
Might as well just go back to the drawing board, guys.
Yeah.
Might as well just go back. I mean, you tried, with rebooting Superman, but perhaps go back to the drawing board again.
Yeah, Man of Steel kind of sucked. And bringing Zack Snyder back for he kind of ruined Superman and made him kind of the all-out action hero, which he's not really, but he's probably a bit more so than Batman, who's more of, thinking in his head kind of character, methodical. He really, I don't think, is going to fit into that raw, all-out action, because you have to be very intelligent with a Batman, and then splitting those two, using them to build up the universe, because what they said they kind of wanted, so they could have more time to build up the Justice League universe, which to that end I agree with. They did say that Wonder Woman's in their top 3 things that they want to do.
Should be like 1.
Martian Manhunter and Aquaman.
Oh yes, but
Wonder
they're
Twins.
not going to touch Aquaman.
Form of awesome movie. Moving on to another rumor that's been buzzing, and this one wasn't actually a rumor that was created more by people just like, hey, this could be a thing, but it was created by one of the working people within the Marvel Universe. Was at a smaller panel and was asked some questions about whether the Thor 2 movie would have kind of a reaching effect with like a minor superhero that hasn't been announced or anything like that yet, and he flat out said yes.
Ooh.
So this has really got the rumor mill buzzing, because there's been so many rumors lately of Black Panther that tomorrow we could see the announcement of a Black Panther movie, since they have so many empty movie slots scheduled years from now. So a lot of stuff going on the Black Panther movie I've been wanting, but they keep saying they're going to do and then not do and then do and then not do. So let's just do it and get the actors down and go. You want to hear a bit more about the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Sure.
You know how we had some rumors a little while back about Vin Diesel tweeting something about meeting with the Disney execs? Well, he said in an interview at his Riddick panel, when asked about Marvel, that expect something big at the end of the month, which we're at, like the 20th now?
Yeah.
So, I mean, soon. Soon. Expect something big soon, because he loves leaking these things, apparently.
Come on, Vin Diesel.
He even, was, throwing up on his Facebook, pictures with him and, comic books behind him and things like that. He's really trying to get people going. It's like a one-man, campaign started up by himself. It's pretty interesting. I'm curious to see who he's going to be. A lot of rumors of him maybe being involved with the Ant-Man movie, whether it's a villain or a robot or something. Or if it's the Daredevil thing, people have been kind of like, hey, he'd be a cool Kingpin. Who knows? We'll probably find out at the end of the month.
Yeah. Maybe he'll be Ant-Man.
No. Maybe he'll be Black Panther.
Take that back. Take that back.
So, a little bit more Marvel Cinematic news for you. A lot of stuff coming out. Obviously,
Yes.
Comic-Con. Clive Russell, who is, he's a Game of Thrones actor, but he is going to be one of the actors that is joining the cast for Thor: The Dark World. When giving an interview with somebody on camera, you know how the actors are supposed to be very careful with what they say so they don't potentially spoil things?
I'm gonna guess he spoiled something.
He let out a pretty interesting bomb. He was asked all different questions, what it's like to work with these actors. And then he starts comparing the difference between American actors and British actors, and how British actors are more over the top and they yell and things like that. But American actors are much quieter. Like, he even said, and this was the kind of thing that kind of got him in trouble, he said, get ready for it, I was doing a scene with Benicio del Toro, and he's supposed to be angry, and I couldn't hear anything he was saying, but then when we were watching him back on film, he had this very angry, quiet feel to him, and it's very much more of an American style. But the interesting thing there is, he said Benicio del Toro, who was announced to be more than likely a villain for Guardians of the Galaxy. So, it appears we will have maybe the villain of Guardians of the Galaxy in the Thor 2 movie. Boom. Alright, so moving on from the main Marvel Cinematic Universe to one of its little subcategories, the Spider-Man section of it. Felicity Jones, who a lot of people are rumoring as playing maybe Black Cat, basically said she wasn't. She said that she will be playing Harry Osborn's girlfriend, who, in I guess some version of the comic books, has found the family serum and became a villain named Menace. So that's the thing. See, right now there's so many things going on with that. So many villains, so many potential arcs. Nobody knows what exactly is going on, but what we do know is it's a 4-series movie set, assuming they don't come out with like a Venom sequel. But the Spider-Man in itself is 4 movies. This will be number 2. The first one, Mark Webb was even saying, was there to just kind of establish things, but this is supposed to be the one to get the bigger universe kind of rolling within it, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of villains.
Yes, it is.
That's a lot of villains. And in the last one, another rumor for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but this one, admittedly, is a lot weaker, and I'm really hoping it's not true, which is Joseph Gordon-Levitt was rumored to play Doctor Strange, which, even though he's a good actor, he does not fit that role at all. He's not old enough. He doesn't have the look. I really think that the Viggo Mortensen rumor was the proper one. He looks like the role. He's supposed to be in like his upper 30s. He's supposed to be a surgeon. It just doesn't feel like Mr. Levitt.
Oh, I love Mr. Levitt.
Well, it's not about the actor. It's about the role and the character.
I don't care. I just love him.
He's not old enough.
I don't care.
Yeah, but as most people are saying, this one's a lot of falsity, because after Dark Knight Rises, they were rumoring him for about every movie under the sun, including cameos in Man of Steel and things like that never even came true. And this is more than likely just another one of those.
Oh yeah.
Holding out for Viggo Mortensen. He's the perfect guy for it.
I kid you when I say that, I would love him to be that, because I couldn't see it either.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like upper 30s, low 40s. He's like a surgeon who like gets magic powers. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like him, does it?
No.
And as I'm sure a decent amount of you might know, the Emmys were announced, and I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to tackle this because I didn't want to read everything from every category off, because that would take literally like 30 minutes.
All day.
All day. So instead, what I decided to attempt to do, or at least what I am doing, is I decided to go over all of Game of Thrones nominations. They've got 16 nominations,
Yes,
which is the second most out of anything on it, behind American Horror Story, who is kind of in a category of their own because they don't count under TV series, they count under miniseries, so they kind of clean up in that category. So, the best show of all time, I'll go over all 16 of their nominations. If you don't want it, skip ahead to her stuff. If you do, stay here. And the first one, they got kind of a nod for the biggest and best thing of the entire show, the best drama. That's the best award there is on the Emmys.
Come on.
And it's up there, and it's for season 3, so it should win.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh.
Supporting actor, I agree the fact that there is one in here. In fact, he might still should be in there, but I believe they kind of put the wrong actor in. They put the name in as opposed to who I believe did the amazing job. They put Peter Dinklage in, and I do think he did a good job. And he won Best Supporting Actor in the first season.
Yeah.
But I still stand by the fact that his second season was his best season, which with the Blackwater episode, and he wasn't even given a nod then. So who knows what they're thinking? Obviously, maybe there was some little upset after his speech on winning the first time about how HBO lets actors act, and it kind of rubbed people the wrong way. Maybe there was some of that for retaliation for season 2, which again I believe was his best season.
Yeah.
Season 3 he was good, but I believe it should have been Charles Dance. I think Tywin Lannister this season was amazing, and he really was kind of the glue for the season.
Well, I almost feel like Tyrion really wasn't in it a whole bunch. I mean, yeah, you could have put in a ton of different actors for season 3. I mean, yeah, I love him as an actor. He's an amazing actor. He does his role, they all do their role very well.
In fact, I almost feel like, sorry not to interrupt you or anything, but I feel almost like Richard Madden actually maybe had a better chance for it than him as far as what they actually did in the season. His was very good without spoiling anything. But again, I'd say Charles Dance, and it is possible to have 2 actors in this category, so yeah, I'm not saying maybe he should not have been in it, but I really feel like Charles Dance was the best. The best out of anybody I've seen off TV, and I watch too much TV. Just a little side note, just to talk about for a second. It'll be interesting how they bring him in the next season, because from what I've heard in the 4th book, Tyrion Tyrion Lannister's like not even in it. Jon Snow's not in it, and Daenerys Targaryen, like they're basically not in the entire book. So it'll be interesting how they decide to tweak it, because obviously they want their most popular actors inside the season. So it'll be kind of interesting how they decide to tweak that around, because obviously they're not going to go without those three. Yeah, they're mixing things up pretty much now. So if you're trying to keep up, if you're really trying to keep up with the book to season ratio, good luck. Because that's the thing. Best Supporting Actress, getting her first ever, is Emilia Clarke. Or Amelia, because the English misspell things. Yeah. Her first ever. This is another one where I'm like, she was good, but I don't feel like maybe she was great. I'm really hoping she wins it. Obviously, I'm biased and I'm rooting from across the board here. But this again didn't feel maybe as powerful as her first season, maybe? I don't know. She had some good moments in it. I can see it, actually. She had some good moments.
Yeah, she definitely had some good moments, especially with a lot of stuff that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give spoilers.
And in another category, one of which I feel that they've got a lockdown, which is Outstanding Guest Actress, with Diana Rigg, who was the Tyrell, the old flower.
Oh.
I believe they have this one on lockdown.
Oh, yes.
She nailed it. She was so good.
I love her. Like, she made me feel like she could be bad, or she could be like...
Right, where she
good.
outwitted Tyrion. She's super smart. The only one she didn't outdo was Tywin Lannister, who doesn't get outdone.
Oh, but they were going around. She's an amazing older woman.
Right, I feel like she's got this one on lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see anything else there that looked anywhere near as compelling.
Yes.
So I feel like she's got that one on lockdown. And just a quick side note, do you know what she did before Game of Thrones?
No, I do not.
She did an episode of Doctor Who in 2013.
Oh, Doctor Who. Speaking of.
Another one, maybe the next biggest category, at least in my mind, that somebody can win or a show can win, is Best Writing for an Episode, which up for it is David Benioff and D.B. Weiss for episode 9, Reigns of Castamere. This episode's another one that I think is on lockdown. None of the other TV shows up for it had near the effect that this episode did on pop culture in general. This thing affected people in the worst ways possible. Being that I just said the name Reigns of Castamere and you heard her go, oh. Yes, episode 9, Reigns of Castamere, The Red Wedding. I think that it should have it on lockdown.
Let's not even talk about it, okay?
They also are up for Outstanding Art Direction for a Single Camera for episode 5, Kissed by Fire. Outstanding Cast for a Drama, which I think they should get this one. And their cast is twice the size of anybody else's, and everyone does well.
Yeah.
They either do good or great. I mean, I think this one should be on lockdown as well. Cinematography for episode 10, the last episode, Mihesa. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced, but I can definitely see this one. Even though I wasn't a big fan of the final scene, it was definitely a cinematic type of scene. They have a good chance at this one, I think. Outstanding Costumes, they put episode 3, I think, just because they need an episode, but really, Game of Thrones, come on, best costumes.
Yeah, so believable.
I mean, they fully make the armor with the little detail, and that's going to be a tough one for them to lose as well. Again, I'm a homer, but a lot of these seem like these little ones.
But yes.
Picture editing for episode 9, Reigns of Castamere. Hairstyling for episode 8, Second Sons. I think hairstyling's another one they have a good chance at. Definitely. They put a lot of detail into their character work.
Yeah, they do, and they have the different hairstyles for different regions of Game of Thrones world, and it's just amazing.
Makeup, non-prosthetic for episode 5, Kissed by Fire. See, their makeup work is also pretty good. Prosthetic makeup for a TV, movie, miniseries, or special for episode 1, Volar Dores. Sound editing for episode 4, and now his watch is ended. Or more what? Sound mixing and visual effects. So
cool.
They basically are cleaning up in all the sound and
editing
and visual effects and all those types of things, as well as being up for a lot of the big spots for for best drama and things like that. Obviously, for those who might not be as in the know, Game of Thrones isn't able to win awards for lead actor or actress because they are not a show with a lead actor or actress. They have an ensemble cast.
Here. Yep.
So that is a thing. Now, finally, we can move on to Sarah's stuff.
Hello! It's anime time! Yay. So, there is some stuff going on in the anime world. Like, NIS America has announced that they're going to have an anime called Brave 10 that's coming out October 8th of this year. It's the complete series premium and edition, so the genre is action, martial arts, fantasy. It's teen rated. It's going to be on a 2 Blu-ray DVD set. There's 12 episodes in total, and it will be original, like, Japanese voice acting with the English subtitles. That's kind of how NISO works. Also, there is some bonus content if you get the premium edition. It comes with a clean opening and ending, Japanese commercials, Japanese trailers, premium box with bonus items, a full-color 32-page hardcover book with art in it, complete with an episode guide, character and world descriptions, and production and key art, and more. So,
Japanese commercials. What more can you say?
what more? So, we took a look at the trailer, which the trailer will be down in the description as well
the info
as
thingy. Yeah.
on the table.
On the table.
On the table.
Right there.
So,
So,
what did you think about this trailer that we watched?
it's almost hard to really come up with too much because it's mostly just like these people are fighting each other and they show almost the same people fighting each other in every clip of it. It looks very action oriented. I'm kind of curious on how the story arc and things like that actually work because they really didn't touch on them a whole lot. It looks pretty nice. Like it's a pretty looking anime.
Yes, it is definitely.
Like you said, action. It looks like it's worth a watch.
Well, let me pique your interest a little more. So, what the story is kind of about, because like he was saying, and let's be honest, in anime trailers, they really don't give you a whole lot unless you read the description of what the anime is about. So, life is tough during the Warring States period of medieval Japan. And lords battle lords for control of the country, while samurai and mystical warriors do their bidding from the shadows. Backstabbing and betrayal is common, and legendary ninja has had enough. He lives only for himself until a girl with a mysterious dark power falls into his arms. He quickly finds himself dragged into a struggle between powerful warlords and a strange, alluring guy.
Well, that doesn't sound...
Saizo becomes one of Sonata's 10 Braves, which Sonata is the strange but alluring guy. And they use their mystical powers and ninja abilities to protect the people and things they care about the most. So that is what it's about. Lots of action, like you're saying. Lots of stuff going on. It might be worth a watch.
Maybe.
If you
watch the trailer and find out.
Yeah. Take a look at the trailer.
And now you know what it's about.
Yes. Moving on from that. Sentai Filmworks has acquired a ton of new animes for themselves. There's quite a few. We'll have them scrolling along the bottom. But they acquired a lot of animes this month. The dates ranging from the 16th of this month to the 18th. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot of days, but there's about like 7 or 8 animes coming out.
Are there any like ones that look particularly good, or?
I didn't get a chance to read through all of them, but
that's
there were some names. There were some names that sounded interesting.
Like voice actors, or like
just like the names of the anime.
Oh, okay.
Because I imagine I'm not sure if they'll be like English dubbed or anything like that.
Probably not if they.
I'm guessing probably not, but you never know. You never know.
Never.
But Sentai Filmworks also inked a deal with Tsunoko Production, which they are a company, they have a lot of animes in their library and stuff. So they acquired hundreds of hours of programming from them, and it includes 11 of the most influential and beloved anime series, including such classics as Gatchaman and Kashan. I've never heard of them, but maybe, you guys have.
I've heard of Gatchaman.
I thought it sounded familiar, but I wasn't sure. They're really excited to bring these titles to fans of anime in these generations, and yeah, that's a thing with Sentai Filmworks. They are acquiring lots of stuff right now. But anyways, moving on. Some very fun news. Very fun news. Funimation has acquired Dot Hack.
Like the rights for all of it?
They acquired. They announced today, actually, at Comic-Con, because we're talking about this. They were at Comic-Con, the San Diego Comic-Con panel. They have acquired the rights to the following Dot Hack titles.
Alrighty.
Dot Hack Sign.
Okay.
Which, if you guys aren't sure about that one, it's a prequel to the Dot Hack video game, the OVA series.
And you can get the characters in the original Dot Hack quadrilogy. Anyway, move on. Sorry.
They acquired the rights to Dot Hack Roots.
Okay.
They acquired the rights to Dot Hack Legend of Twilight.
Okay.
And they acquired the rights to the Dot Hack GU trilogy.
To make them like an anime? The Return of Adelaide. No! No, this is fantastic news. One, I'm a fan of Dot Hack. Two, now Dot Hack and Sword Art Online are under the same thing, so they can do some kind of like hybrid MMO, especially because of what happens in season 2 of Sword Art Online. So they can have like the world meets Sword Art Online. It'll be fantastic. I love it. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, he's so excited. If you don't know what Dot Hack is about, well, you should. But it is an action fantasy franchise that follows several young players as they navigate through the vast, mysterious role-playing video games set in the world.
Right, or the world too, if they're going to do the GU.
Right.
With Adelaide.
Yes, and I mean, there's also video games on Dot Hack. I mean,
right. There's
Hack
the original quadrilogy. There's the Dot Hack GU trilogy, which isn't as good as the quadrilogy, but the graphics are better and the gameplay is a bit better. And there's also a PSP series that came out in Japan but never got translated outside of Japan. So that's the thing.
Yes, and also Funimation, they hold the rights to Dot Hack Quantum as well. So they just got a lot of Dot Hack going on.
Quantum is a 3-part miniseries, I believe.
They released it on Blu-ray and a Blu-ray combo actually just last year. So
also last year, there was a Dot Hack fighting game that came out. Just saying.
Just a lot of Dot Hack stuff going on.
I'm excited for this. Dot Hack might not be dead.
But some also very exciting news from Funimation as well. But on the eve of San Diego Comic-Con 2013, Game Samba is excited to announce that the worlds of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and free-to-play anime-inspired MMO RPG Remnant Knights will collide. So, starting next week, fans of the hit anime series will be able to purchase official FMA Brotherhood costumes to cosplay in-game as their favorite characters, decorate their RK dorm rooms with FMA swag, and travel through Kasamari in style on an Alphonse Elric mount.
You can mount Alphonse Elric?
Guess. That's cool.
Be excited. You too can mount Alphonse Elric and ride him.
But anyways, some very exciting news from Funimation, especially with the Dot Hack stuff getting acquired, and the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood colliding with Remnant Knights. Yay!
Colliding in the most awkward way possible.
But anyways, that is all that I have for my anime news. Moving on to the book news, there are a couple books that look very interesting that are coming out on July 23rd. One of them is called Two Fronts, The War That Came Early, and this is book 5 of the series. It's a hardcover, and it's by Harry Turtledove. And what this is, it's an alternate history book. So, In 1942, two nations switch sides, and World War II takes a horrifying new course. So that's just kind of what the book is going to be about.
Do they say which nations?
In the real world, England and France allowed Adolf Hitler to gobble up the Sudetenland in 1938. And once Hitler finished dismembering Czechoslovakia, he was ready to go to war over Poland a year later.
Poland never got run over by panzer tanks.
But Hitler had always been eager to see Czechoslovakia, no matter the consequences. So what if England and France had stood up to the Nazis from the start and not 11 months later? That is the question behind the war that came early series. So, if you are into history or into alternate history, this perhaps would be a book that you would want to pick up.
Perhaps.
Especially if you're into, the series of books, because this is book 5. So, some twists on World War II.
Also, I would suggest finding that relative of yours who's a diehard World War II fan and telling him this is a real, actual historical book and then giving it to them.
No, don't do that. That would be so mean. Anyway, moving on from that book. There is a Batman, The Dark Knight Volume 2, Cycle of Violence, the new 52 hardcover graphic novel that's coming out. And this one is the Scarecrow has returned to Gotham City, but he's no longer the meek punching bag Batman is used to.
Oh no.
The villainous genius has always preyed on the worst fears of his victims, but has refined his legendary fear toxin to even greater effectiveness and deadlier consequences. As the Scarecrow's origin is unfurled, Batman must find out not only how to conquer the dangerous psychopath, but how to beat his own worst fear.
Bats?
So yes, and this is also written by Greg Hurwitz, and David Finch is the illustrator. So yes, I guess Batman's
Conquering
fears would be bats, wouldn't it?
Right.
As well as Scarecrow's fears. Scarecrow is afraid of bats.
Probably because a bat punches him in the face every time he tries to go out to the store or something.
I would imagine a lot of people's fear in the Batman world as villains would be bats. Or Batman.
Or shadowy figures jumping across rooftops.
Like, oh, what was that? I'm not doing anything. So, that is what is going on for anime and book news this week.
So, that was our episode for the week. And that was your news. We have nothing really. As far as in between the week,
But, next week I should have this off. So.
That or it'll be casted.
Oh, don't say that.
Find out next week on the Utopia of Nerd News.
Woo!
Bye.